All right, so in another few more days, it's going to be Eid in Dubai, in UAE, Dubai, UAE, and across the world. But I want to give you my thoughts on the dangers and risks, or, like they say, the dark side of celebrating Eid in Dubai, UAE. I know the title may be a little clickbaity, as you say it, or shocking. But you hear me out, and then you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay, feel free, comment down below. So, yeah, the same stuff that I've repeated in my other videos. Was in UAE 40 years, parents 55, friends have been there, generations. So we saw the evolution of Dubai, and we also saw the evolution of how people celebrate. Okay, where once upon a time, when my mother, we're talking of the early 80s, you could easily go to the sheikhs' houses. Sheikhs used to walk around with their families and meet people. Less people were there. The ruler used to engage with other people, and his wives. They would also, obviously they wouldn't be in the public because they were conservative. But my mother, because she used to teach them exercise, the Jane Fonda bullshit, and do a little bit of massage and makeup, and she used to provide these ancillary services. So she had access to a lot of these Emirati rich, wealthy families and some of the sheikh families. So when she would go there during Eid, especially during Eid, and she used to also kind of prime me and tell me, go wish them Eid Mubarak and, be very nice and all. They'll give Eid. Eid means they give a little bit of money in happiness. They'll give Eid, they'll give gifts. Okay, don't forget. So I was like, okay, fine. So I would join my mother, and she would go house to house wishing them Eid Mubarak and all that. And they were very generous. These Emirati families, very, very generous. They would give us Arabic sweets, like, I don't know what you call it, yeah. It's like a puff ball with the melted sugar, very delicious. And some of them used to literally give us like chicken biryani and mutton biryani, and I don't know if they ever gave camel biryani, but food was like, the container, because Arabs eat like sitting together, as a family. So massive containers and massive amounts of fruits. They were very, very hospitable. Okay. They were really gem of human beings. I mean, their generosity was through the roof. And if poor people or less fortunate people would line outside their door, they would generously give. Now, I'm not aware if they do it throughout the year or they only do it, but I do know for a fact during Ramadan, there are people who literally, Al-Attar family, I was close to them. They would cook 10 to 20 to sometimes even 50 kg rice with chicken, meat, beef, whatever, and they would distribute it to the poor. People would line and they would feed them. So those were really nice acts of kindness. But during Eid, it was more like giving gifts. And since we were non-Muslims, they would treat us very hospitable, and they would give us, the biryani, and yes, cash. And obviously, I'd give the cash to my mother, and my mother, very good boy, very good. So my evil, sinister mother would take advantage of that. But I think these families, they knew that people are coming here, and they wanted to share the blessings and happiness. But this is the olden days. This is the 80s. Obviously, now that the population has grown to millions, 6 million or 7, and the wealth has increased, purchasing power has increased, you can't just walk up to a sheikh's house. I remember the layers of security that used to be there even in the 80s and 90s. You had to go one gate and then second gate and third gate. Palaces, big, huge places. They had a place for sitting and eating out. They had a place for dedicated palaces for different activities or families. And when you stay in a joint family, brother, sister, wife. Sometimes a guy would have 2 wives or 3 wives. Each one would have a dedicated house for themselves. Okay. Big garden, swimming pool and all that. Okay. But today, sadly, it has become extremely commercial, like every other religion. Exceptionally commercial. With my interaction with the Muslim families, they generally plan out activities. And the activities can include from going for a holiday trip for 7 days to whether inside UAE or abroad, because it's a modern age. And sometimes they will even go for, families that like to be local. They would go to the desert, midnight camping, or they would book a 5-star hotel somewhere within UAE, or they would go within the Middle East. But that all is fine. That is totally fine. But where it proves to be very dangerous is, because what happens, 1 month you are fasting, you're in control, you're not doing anything crazy, just going to work, come back home and sleep. So now you have complete and total freedom. And when you have the freedom, what do you want to do? You want to go and enjoy yourself. So the first major danger that I see is deaths due to traffic, the way they drive. And if you go back every year during Eid, it's even more than New Year. It's even more than any other festival during Eid, because there's a 5-day or 7-day holiday. The way people drive at top speed with their overpowered vehicles that they can buy, it's instantaneous death. There have been some of the examples that stood out in my head where full family, an Indian family whole, I remember he was Keralite, because majority are Keralites there. Husband, wife, 3 kids, I think, and a maid. The vehicle crashed and they all were burnt alive. They all died on the spot. Then there have been graphic incidents where the car is split into 2. Then there are incidents where, they lost control of the vehicle. A vehicle has smashed into them. And in some sad cases, I don't know when was this. They had one example where the parents died, but the child was, still alive. It's bad, yeah. See, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to say because of Eid, this Muslim festival. No, nothing like that. It is the human beings who, in their moment of joy and happiness, to celebrate Eid, the freedom, it's a festival. It's a holiday. It's a time to enjoy. So in that enjoyment, in that excitement, they step on the gas and they travel and music and this and that. Little do they know that when you are driving a machine on the road, you will die if something happens. Now, you might say, no man, but we are very careful. We wear the seat belt. We drive safely. What if somebody else loses control of their vehicle and smashes into you? Now, I know what the detractors will say. I know what the other side will say. Oh yeah, so you want us to be like you, sit at home with fear. I'll very, very honestly, I'll tell you how I celebrate any festival that my wife celebrates. Because normally I don't celebrate any festival. Every day for me is a holiday. I can cherry pick when I like. I'm not saying you should follow my way. I'm just saying this is what I do. I've always told my wife during Christmas, New Year, the festivals that they have, there is a lot more traffic. There's a lot of driving. Okay? And what happens is, there's always a possibility that, you prepare for the worst. So what I do is, I intelligently plan out in such a way If she is looking for something that is essential, let's say going to the temple to pray. My wife is Buddhist, my child is also Buddhist, and they pray to, there's a mix of Hinduism in the way they pray, Hindu gods and all. So I plan out in such a way that we travel either when there is no traffic, or if there is, you can't avoid it, we try to go as nearest as possible, finish it as quickly as possible, and drive home. And if she says she wants to go somewhere to eat food, or what I do is I tell her how much would be the budget to eat. Let's say 1,000. For example, I'm giving 1,000. Okay. I will double it. Let's celebrate after the festival is over. Okay. Obviously the prices go up. So I told her the prices will come down. So instead of eating once at your favorite joint, when it's crowded and people are there, we will go when the hype has died out, and maybe you can have 3 times or 4 times. And what would you prefer? Or I give her the choice. I put some more money. What would you like as a gift? So she has a different incentive. And why do I do that is because there is always the fear that an accident can take place. And see, listen, you'll say, Loy, you're being pessimistic. I'll tell you this, an accident or a bad time will never inform you. And every single person who has had an accident or died or lost their loved one, they never thought a bad thing would happen to them. In fact, here in Thailand, you can check the stats. The number of accidents here and deaths due to road is the highest in the world. In Samui, where I stay, it's a small island. Every single day, you'll hear the ambulance going, just up, down, means somebody had an accident. And you can again Google search and check. The accidents end up with these tourists who are backpackers or came to enjoy a cheap budget holiday. They end up with bills coming up to 50,000 euros or dollars. Now again you'll say, hey listen man, but that's not UAE. I'm just saying it as a precaution for you and your family. I'm not saying don't enjoy. Please enjoy. I'm not saying don't go out. But every client of mine, I've told them, these are facts, and there are many Muslims, there are some Emiratis, some, not many. I always tell them, please be safe. And thankfully, I don't know, somehow maybe my circle, like-minded people only come to me, I guess. They say, no man, we're not going out, we are celebrating with the family. Anyone wants to come over, they come over. And we celebrate. So the first most important thing that I'll tell you, the most important, if you can avoid going out, please do so. If you can sit with your family at home, spend quality time, that's very nice. If you really have to go out, then plan out in such a way that you're in that safe spot. But as far as possible, spend the least amount of time on the roads. Least. Because once damage is done, it's irreversible. Now that is one. The second thing which I'll tell you is, remember during Eid, obviously you would have purchased the gifts. The prices of everything shoots up, and generally I've noticed inflation starts to seep in without people noticing, and I've already predicted this for you. After Eid, the prices are going to shoot higher. So make a list of what you want to buy. Check the prices before, check the prices during Eid, check the prices after Eid. I'm very sure they will give you, you'll find the difference. But it's always recommended, whatever you want to purchase, if it's non-essential. How many dogs are here? Look at this. 1, 2, hi doggies, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to pet them because if I pet one, then all will come and start licking me and I can't focus. Okay. So don't buy during Eid. Because obviously, make hay when the sun shines. So people have to spend, don't spend. If it's essential, buy. But if it is not, save the money and buy when the season's down. You'll definitely get 40% off, or buy one, get one free, or some freebie. I mean, if you can get some benefit, why not? And I think one final thing which I'd just like to tell you is let these festivals not just have a commercial tinge of, okay, we go out and we enjoy. How are you? Don't have the. Don't make it all about spending money, going to a VIP restaurant, and just enjoying. That is fine. But what does it mean on a deeper level? On a deeper level, it is being with the family. Like I'll tell you, when I celebrate my wife and my kids' birthday, we generally either cook at home or we sit together. But if my wife wants a different experience to go out, I check when her birthday falls. Okay, today, is it a holiday? Is there a lot of traffic? Is there many people driving? Okay. Then I tell her, communication is important. I tell her, see, listen, this is how much do you want for your birthday as a budget? She'll always tell me sun, moon and stars. I have to bring it down practically. She'll try a lot. She knows me. So if, generally the budget should be, again, 1,000. She'll say 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000. She can say anything. But I'll tell her, be realistic. Then she comes down. Finally, I come to a reasonable amount. And then I tell her, to keep you happy, we'll double it. Okay, I don't always say that. But I'm giving you an idea. Okay, this is for baby and for you, and let's keep baby also happy. Because if both of you are happy, you'll enjoy it more, right? Okay. And then I tell her that let's wait until a day where everyone's working, roads will be empty, there'll be nobody at that restaurant, it'll be just us. We can find out what is a special offering because most of the stuff is online. And we plan out the day accordingly, the whole day, where everyone is busy, we enjoy the max. And the beauty here is, because there's nobody talking and nobody there, we are together and there's more attention being paid. And what I tend to do is, I pay a little bit more of a premium so that I don't have to focus on the nitty-gritties, So, the only dark side, I would say is, one is it has become very commercial. It has lost the essence of what celebrating a spiritual festival is. Second one is the risks and dangers of driving, which can result in death and all that. Number three, though, I didn't say about it, but I'm just saying, some people use this as a moment because they stop smoking, drinking, and sleeping around with whores or whatever. They overly compensate that by taking a trip to a third world country and banging every hole in sight. That I've seen, it's very common, which I didn't bring it up because it's not everyone who's doing that. And one small thing I would tell you, I know this sounds like preaching to the choir. Most of these Muslim families, I would not say few, most, they do a lot of things for people who are less fortunate, or forget doing for the poor. They are friends or family. Here's a surprising thing. Me, with my tattooed face and everything, the people who have been most kind to me are not my ex-Christian community. They have done zero for me. Hindus, some, but maybe because I was in a Muslim country, the maximum number of people, have all been Muslims. From my mentor to everyone else, all Muslims. And during Eid, if in case I would go and meet them, or some would even invite me, they would give me all the love, affection, which was genuinely felt from the heart. Yeah, one or two would preach the Quran while after lunch, which I was like, I'm feeling sleepy now, what do you want to preach? But then again, that's what it is. So that's what I want to leave you with. Please take care. And the last bit I told you, the commercial aspect, if you want to buy, it's not the right time. Just wait until prices go down. Tell them this is your budget, we'll buy, and there you'll save some money. So, so that's what I want to share with you. And please, one thing, just a request, please stop spamming other people with your forwards. Eid Mubarak, and Hindus do that. Happy Diwali, Christians do that, Merry Christmas. And they forward it to me. I don't know who the fuck it is, And when you keep sending, what I do at the end is, I just block the person. Why are you sending to like 3,000, 4,000 people? What's gone wrong with you, man? Make it personal. Talk to them one-to-one. Make it count. And please, one last thing I'll tell you. This is just as an afterthought. Don't use these moments to further your selfish goals or manipulative goals. People can see through it. Like if you wish someone because you're hoping to get a promotion or kiss their ass, people are not dumb. They can see through it. Just keep that in mind. All right. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts and comment down below. And feel free to add in or disagree with whatever you feel is not right or should be corrected. You guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.